Well, does it ever seem like the media is a little too political, that maybe they're too close for comfort to those in government, beyond simply covering politicians as part of their job? Well, in some cases, media is in fact in bed with high-ranking officials, literally. Media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media joining me now. Lionel, what can you tell us about this?
Well, to borrow from Shakespeare, they say that politics makes strange bedfellows, and, well, some of this may be true. For example, former ABC News executive producer Ian Cameron is married to Susan Rice, who is a national security advisor. Then we have CBS News president David Rhodes, who happens to be the brother, now follow this at home, kids, of Ben Rhodes, Obama's deputy national secretary advisor for strategic communications. He's got a great title, by the way. Assistant to the president and deputy national security advisor for strategic communications and speechwriting. Imagine his business card. Then, former ABC News correspondent and senior national correspondent for Good Morning America, Claire Shipman, is married to former White House press secretary Jay Carney, who became a political analyst for a short time with CNN after leaving. Are you following me? Then, CNN Washington Deputy Bureau Chief and Vice President Virginia Mosley is married to former Hillary Clinton's Deputy Secretary of State Tom Nides. And then we have Savannah Guthrie of NBC, married to Mike Feldman. That's right, Mike Feldman, a former Gore aide, who is now part of the Democratic Glover Park Group consultancy. And, Simone, this is just a portion of this. I haven't mentioned think tanks, bellicose groups of think tanks, but I'm mentioning names. I haven't mentioned those individuals who were lobbyists. I mean, you know, and we always laugh at the British. Oh, they're all a bunch of, you know, we're all related and inbred. Well, I wonder sometimes if we're not too far from that. So nepotism is alive and well, apparently.
Okay, well, Lionel, yeah, I know you had a much longer list. We kind of narrowed you down a little bit so you could give us just a few. But what do you think this does for our media coverage in this country? I mean, part of a journalist's job is to stay impartial. It's kind of hard when you have a lot of pillow talk.
Right. Well, remember, some of these are siblings, and you're right. And I didn't go through the list because I don't want to put the Ambien company out of business by going through and reading the list of all these. But just Simone, ask yourself this question. If you have Democratic, or it could be Republican, this is not just this administration, but if you have people from the media married to members of the administration, and the people from the media get to decide. Now, do we go after that which is embarrassing to the same administration, which perhaps funds our lifestyle and hires my husband, wife, partner, whatever? Do I do that? Do I say, oh, the heck with it. Journalism wins. Triumphant. We move on. Let the chips fall where they may. Or do you think later on, you know, this is a good living we have here. Why upset the apple cart? Let's look at something else. And by the way, Simone, remember this. You're going to be telling your grandkids one day that you saw one of the most biased mainstream media that anybody has ever seen. This sock puppet media that we live in right now is unlike anything I've covered, and I've been around since the Harding administration. I mean, this is, so when you ask yourself, why this kind of a hands-off? Why are sometimes the media rather tepid and not really involved? You know, Simone, I'm thinking maybe, just maybe it's because everybody's kind of related.
Right.
Maybe, but who knows? I'm just a cynic.
Lionel, I want you to take your media analyst hat off now and put on your legal analyst and former prosecutor hat on. I want to switch gears and get your opinion on something. We have about a minute left, but the American Bar Association announced an update today in their ethical rules to ban words like honey and darling from the courtroom. Wanted to get your quick comment on that.
Well, I think that apparently the insanity which has permeated our culture has made its way into the courtroom. This was a concern. I'm all for it. But to actually codify this, we've lost our minds.
Official legal and media analyst Lionel of Lionel Media.
Don't call me honey.